Welcome to Cupid's Logic, where love meets predictive intelligence. We decode attraction, conflict, attachment, and compatibility, so you can know if it will last before you commit.
Welcome to Cupid's Logic. I am your host, Craig Pruitt, and today we are diving into a deceptively simple question. When your chemistry feels intense, is that a sign you'll last, or a fast forward to a breakup? Are you ready for the truth? Let's get serious for a moment. We'll unpack a 10-minute diagnostic I call the intensity alignment test. By the end, you'll be able to score your relationship on 4 clear signals and get a sense of where it might land in 6 to 36 months. Picture 2 common scenes. Scene 1, you meet someone. The chemistry is electric. Texts fly, nights feel cinematic, sex is explosive. But 6 months in, small fights turn volcanic, and one cold morning feels like the beginning of the end. Scene 2, a relationship that is steady, calm, safe. But months pass and you wonder, where did the spark go? Which one is healthier? Which one lasts? The painful part is that both experiences feel like failure to people caught in them. If you ignore the patterns, you either rush to fix something that isn't broke, or you drift slowly into resentment. So the core question is simple and urgent. Is this chemistry sustainable, or is it a ticking mismatch? Promise. Here's what I promise in the next 10 minutes. We'll run a short diagnostic, the intensity alignment test, that measures 4 signals you can rate in minutes. You'll get concrete red and green thresholds that predict whether fiery chemistry becomes sustainable passion, or whether low-intensity calm masks slow disengagement. I'll give examples you can score tonight and clear strategies to align intensity without sacrificing emotional safety. If you prefer data over wishful thinking, this is for you. Section 1, Concept. What do we mean by intensity versus stability? Intensity is how much emotional and sexual charge a person brings and needs. High baseline desire, quick escalation, strong peaks. Stability is how the relationship absorbs that charge. Does it have repair routines, predictable rhythms, and a shared pace? These 2 dimensions interact with attachment patterns and personality. An anxious attached partner may seek intensity as proof of closeness, and an avoidant partner may interpret intensity as pressure. Personality traits like novelty-seeking or low habituation thresholds change the thermostat. So intensity isn't good or bad itself. It's a compatibility signal. When 2 thermostats align, sizzling energy can be sustained. When they don't, small triggers magnify. Section 2, the diagnostic framework. The intensity alignment test measures 4 signals. I'll name them and briefly explain what each captures. 1. Baseline desire, the steady level of sexual and emotional wanting between interactions. 2. Habituation rate, how quickly novelty and arousal fade after repeated exposure. 3. Conflict amplitude, how intensely disagreements escalate when expectations aren't met. 4. Recovery window, how long it takes for both partners to repair and return to baseline after a rupture. Think of it like a circuit. Desire is the battery. Habituation is the dimmer that lowers the light. Conflict amplitude is voltage spikes, and the recovery window is the circuit breaker and repair fuse. You score each on a simple 1 to 10 line, and the pattern tells the story. Section 3, Scoring Walkthrough. Let's put numbers to life with examples you can use tonight. Baseline desire. Ask yourself, over the last 2 weeks, how often did you feel wanting? Not when excited in the moment, but a steady pull. If it's a 7 to 10, you have high baseline desire. 1 to 3 is low baseline. Habituation rate. After a few dates, does novelty fade within days? That's a high habituation rate, score 7 to 10. Or does interest stay steady for weeks or months? Low habituation, 1 to 3. Conflict amplitude. When expectations are violated, does the argument stay focused and repairable? Low amplitude. Or does everything blow up and old grievances resurface? High amplitude. Recovery window. After a fight, do you both come back within hours or a day? Short recovery window, healthy. Or does cold distance last days or weeks? Long recovery window, problematic. Now, a quick example. Imagine a couple where both partners have high baseline desire, 8-9, but a high habituation rate,
8. Conflict amplitude is medium-high, and the recovery window is long. That pattern predicts intense early chemistry, followed by frequent spikes and slow repair, a classic burnout trajectory over 6 to 12 months. Contrast that with partners who have moderate baseline desire, 5-6, low habituation, 2-3, low conflict amplitude, and quick recovery, slower heat-up but sustainable passion that deepens across years. The predictive sweet spot is alignment, similar profiles or complementary repair capacity. Mismatches are the danger zones.
Predictive implications. What do scores mean for your 6 to 36-month trajectory? High desire plus fast habituation and high conflict amplitude with slow recovery flags likely burnout within 3 to 12 months unless active repair and pacing steps are taken. Low desire with slow habituation and good recovery suggests steady growth, but a risk of future disengagement if emotional novelty isn't co-created. If your scores are mixed, say one partner high desire and the other low, the short term often looks passionate for one and suffocating for the other. The best predictive move is to aggregate these scores across multiple interactions and cross-check them with attachment signals and repair capacity before making big commitments.
Repair and alignment strategies. If your test reveals a gap, there are practical moves that help align intensity without forcing chemistry. Pacing. Intentionally slow escalation in behaviors that spike habituation. Fewer impulsive rendezvous, more planned novelty that reintroduces interest. Partner coaching prompts. Share your scores in neutral language. I notice our energy drops after a week. Can we try X? And invite small experiments. Safety building. Practice validation, pause and return routines, and tiny repair rituals after friction. When to stop. Technical fixes won't close fundamental mismatches in desire or attachment. If one partner persistently needs a level of intensity the other cannot provide, the choice may be about alignment rather than effort.
Risks and common misreads. A few warnings. Don't confuse novelty for fit. Fireworks on the first dates are not a diagnostic on their own. Don't label a relationship after a single argument or a single hot night. Beware confirmation bias. We see what we expect. And avoid overcorrecting. Trying to manufacture intensity without safety often backfires. The intensity alignment test is a tool, not a verdict. Use it, pair it with attachment and repair checks, and treat it as a roadmap, not a sentence.
Recap in CTA. Quick recap. Measure baseline desire, habituation rate, conflict amplitude, and recovery window. Score over multiple interactions. Look for alignment or reliable complementary repair capacity. If you want a deeper PRISM-style readout that combines these signals with personality, attachment, and long-term compatibility forecasting, visit cupidslogic.com to run the intensity alignment test and get a personalized report. I would love to hear your thoughts on what you discover there. Are you ready for the truth?
Thanks for listening to Cupid's Logic. Remember, you're not bad at relationships. You've been flying blind. Be honest with yourself. Take the 10-minute test and use the results as data to have better conversations, not to assign blame. I can relate to the confusion and the hope, and I promise, with the right information, you can make smarter choices about who to commit to. Until next time, take care.
This has been Cupid's Logic. Stop flying blind in love. Visit cupidslogic.com and let the PRISM engine reveal what your relationship data already knows.